For 26 years, Sir Alex Ferguson won more than any manager in the history of football. 13 league titles, 2 European Cups, 38 trophies in all. But the trophies are the least interesting thing about him. What's interesting is what was happening behind his eyes. The real machine was the way he ran his own mind and the minds of everyone around him, his players, his rivals, even his own doubt. If you've ever let one bad week talk you out of something you believed in, or watched a stranger's opinion quietly change your mind, you already know how hard that is to resist. Ferguson spent 26 years refusing to do either, so treat the next few minutes as a heist. We're going to steal the way he thought, the exact mental moves that carried a boy from working class Glasgow to the summit of the most ruthless game on earth and held him there for a quarter of a century. He learned every one of them, which means you can take them. It starts with the lowest moment of his whole career, the goal that survives a bad year. By December 1989, Ferguson had been at Manchester United 3 years and won nothing. The team was sliding toward relegation. A fan hung a banner over the stand. 3 years of excuses and it's still crap. Tara Fergie. The press wanted him sacked. So did most of the crowd. Then came an FA Cup tie away against Nottingham Forest, a game everyone expected him to lose and lose his job with. A young substitute called Mark Robbins scored the only goal. United scraped through. That 1-0 win is the match most people credit with saving his whole career. Luck got him through that single game. What held him steady all winter was something he'd said years before. One goal so big it made every bad week feel small. He wanted to take Manchester United and knock Liverpool, the dominant club in England, right off their perch.
Well, it was a big challenge, as you know, in the 80s. It was Liverpool's time. But when I came down, I never thought we could achieve what we achieved, of course.
That's the first move you can steal. When your ambition only reaches as far as next month, a single defeat can feel like the end of everything. Set the goal 10 years out, and that same defeat shrinks to one bad day on a very long road. Survival was only the floor. What Ferguson really wanted was a dynasty, and a dynasty needs players. August 1995, United lose their opening game 3-1 with a team full of teenagers, and that night on Match of the Day, the pundit Alan Hansen delivers the line that follows him forever.
I think they've got problems. I wouldn't say they've got major problems. Obviously, 3 players have departed. The trick is always buy when you're strong. So he needs to buy players. You can't win anything with kids.
And Hansen had a point. That summer Ferguson had sold 3 of his biggest stars and replaced them with almost nobody, handing the team to a group of unproven 20-year-olds. Everyone thought he'd lost it. Their names are legend now. Beckham, Scholes, the Neville brothers. And that season, the team everyone had written off won the league and the FA Cup. The double. Ferguson survived the bet by standing in front of those kids. He took the public blame himself whenever they lost, so the pressure never reached them. Take the fear of blame off a young player, and he plays free. Carry the risk for the people you're asking to take it, and watch what they'll try. But trusting people is easy when you're winning. The real test of Ferguson's mind was what he did when the knives came out. Autumn 2002. United make their worst start to a league season in years, and the verdict is everywhere. Ferguson is finished. His reply became famous. He simply said, "I don't get paid to panic." That sentence is doing real work. It describes a filter Ferguson ran on every criticism he ever got. Most of it is just someone throwing a feeling at you, and a feeling carries no instructions. But every now and then, buried inside the noise, there's one piece of real information worth keeping. His whole skill was lifting out that piece and letting everything else wash past. When his team played badly, he fixed what was genuinely broken and ignored the panic around it. Run the same filter on every bad comment you'll ever get. Keep the information, bin the emotion. The moves so far all point inward, his goal, his nerve, his calm. The next one points straight at other people. April 1996. United are chasing Newcastle for the title and Ferguson drops a small, needling comment to the press. Days later, live on television, Newcastle's manager Kevin Keegan comes apart. Jabbing his finger at the camera, voice shaking, he delivers the most famous on-air breakdown in English football.
I've kept really quiet, but I'll tell you something. He went down in my estimation when he said that. We have not resorted to that. But I'll tell you, you can tell him now, I'll be watching it. We're still fighting for this title, and he's got to go to Middlesbrough and get something. And I'll tell you, honestly, I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
Newcastle had led that title race for months. They lost it, and Keegan later admitted the pressure was part of why. So why does a brilliant, experienced man crack like that on camera in front of the whole country? Because Ferguson understood something most people never learn. Pressure is a dial, and a skilled operator can turn it up or down on purpose. On a rival, on a teammate, on himself. One calculated sentence in a newspaper, and he let Keegan's own mind do the rest. Once you can see the dial, you stop being ambushed by your own reactions. The next time your nerve goes right as the stakes peak, you can ask Ferguson's question: who turned this dial and do they want me to win? He could rattle a rival with one sentence. On his own players he used something blunter. At Aberdeen, Ferguson once fined one of his own players for overtaking his car on a public road. At United, his halftime talks were so violent they earned a nickname, the Hairdryer, for the experience of having him an inch from your face at full volume. When he arrived at Manchester in 1986 and found players he thought were unfit and drinking too much, he went to war on it. So why did all that fury build champions when the same behavior would have made most managers hate it? Because every standard pointed at one target, the team's chance of winning. The players could see the fury was for the goal, and they were inside that goal with him, so they took it. Discipline aimed at something real reads as respect. But Ferguson also showed exactly where this tool snaps. In 2003, in a dressing room row, he kicked a stray boot in temper. It flew up and cut David Beckham above the eye. Beckham was sold to Real Madrid that same year. That's the line, plenty of people can shout. What made Ferguson different was aim. Aimed at the goal, the fury was a tool. Loose, it was just damage. Put it together and you get one of the strangest careers in sport. A boy from working class Glasgow takes a small Scottish club and in 1983 beats Real Madrid in a European final. 3 years later he walks into a sinking Manchester United, gets a banner calling for his head and nearly loses his job. Then he holds. For 26 years he holds. The goal steady, the noise filtered, his people protected, the pressure always on his terms. In 1999, his United scored twice in the dying minutes of the Champions League final to win a treble no English club had ever managed. Standing there afterwards, all Ferguson could say was,
"The dream come true for you."
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, you must have thought it'd gone there with just a few seconds left. You sent Schmeichel up.
Yeah, I didn't send him up. He went up on his own.
Really? Right.
But anyway, fantastic. I'm so proud of my players.
Well done, Alex. You better get back there and celebrate. Fantastic.
He retired with 38 trophies, the most decorated manager the game has ever seen. And the part worth stealing is this. None of it ran on talent, you either have or you don't. Every piece of it was a choice. And the choices are yours the next time everything feels like it's coming apart. Ferguson controlled a dressing room by reading the people in it. He knew which player needed an arm round the shoulder and which one needed the hairdryer. There was a manager who built the same iron grip by the opposite route. He withheld. He told his players almost nothing, let them fill the silence with their own fear, and turned that silence into one of the most effective weapons the game has ever seen. That's Jose Mourinho, Ferguson's great rival for a reason. I broke down the dark genius of how Mourinho did it. Right here, watch it next.